I do want to talk about this 50 Cent thing. I'm not up to speed on that. Do
Me
you think
either.
that 50 deserves consideration when it comes to top 10 New York artists?
Like what? Like ever?
I think he's kind of
Hip hop
like,
artists? Like top 10 hip hop artists?
yeah,
What he smoking?
he has a moment. That Get Rich or Die Trying is a monster.
Right. So like I'm gonna tell you like Ghost said in the interview. No, you got niggas that got albums. We had errors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do
Like
you
so
think?
get
Why do you
no
think
man.
50 Cent's I guess moment capped off a little shorter than some of his contemporaries or people who were slightly before him?
He's not the consistently has an MC. He is as entertaining and as captivating as an A-list MC.
Hmm.
But he's not an A-list MC in terms of his bars, Mike, and all the guys that he found himself in the stratosphere with. It's like, oh no, your bars don't hold weight next to those guys, so you need to keep making stuff like Get Rich or Die Trying, and that didn't happen. So that was
I
that.
think what made him big was the fact that he was different than most New York MCs, right? And I
Yeah.
think at the end of the day and on the long term, that kind of went against him.
I mean, Mike, it's just like, if you're an MC and you're coming out of New York and you garner the attention and the acclaim that he was garnering of having like the number one position in the game,
Yeah.
dudes expect you to be able to spit a certain type of way. And I'm not talking about across the country, I'm talking about right at home. You from Queens.
I think what really hurt 52 is he really leaned on the numbers, right? And at his
That's what I'm
height,
saying, Mike.
he
It's not
leaned
about
on the
MCing.
numbers and he did what he needed to do to continue those numbers. And I think that diminished where he could go as an MC because I think he had the MC talent, but
He has talent. No, he's very talented.
he continuously dumbed himself down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To appease the market.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So let's look at this right quick. He's talking about being a top 10 hip hop artist in New York. It's like nigga, let's keep it to Queens.
Is he not top?
Nas,
He's not top five in Queens.
Nas, LL, Prodigy, Cool G Rap, ain't Run from Queens.
Listen, no. He's better than Run.
He's
I
better
saw
than
that
Run.
too on
But if we're
the
talking about
thing.
all time, no, he's not better than Run because he's not
DMC's better
important
than
to
Run to me.
as an MC. You're just talking is if he's talking as an MC, then he doesn't even need to be in this conversation top 10 because he doesn't fit. Like no, like because that
So
would be putting
Run
him
has
with
a Get
Kiss.
Rich or Die Trying by
No,
himself.
no, not that. Like Get Rich or Die Trying is one of the greatest moments in rap history.
Right.
It really, really is. It's one of the greatest moments in rap history. So I don't want to understate his moment. But if we're talking, see, I don't know if we're talking about MC or if we're talking about overall
He
hip
said
hop artists.
artist, or at least that's what Shannon
Oh, yeah.
said in the.
So artists, Mike. So I'm gonna go to Run. It's like, well, has an artist Run's more important to this culture than 50? Look at the shit that they started. He was the front man for that. So I can't even put you
I
ahead of
think Run
Run.
DMC is important as a collective. I can't just give that to Run. I think that's unfair.
Okay, so that's fine. So if he's talking as a hip hop artist, so New York, right?
Yeah.
So Big J Nas, gone.
Okay.
DMX.
I thought you were just doing Queens, but okay.
Oh no. I mean, we can kind of keep it to Queens. If we're talking about overall hip hop artists coming out of Queens, yeah, Mike, he's gonna be top five. But we talking about MC, barely making the top 10 out of Queens. Queens got arguably the best. Queens and Brooklyn and probably Philly are probably the three most lyrical MC heavy areas in the history of rap. Probably
I
those
got to
three.
give it to Brooklyn, man. Brooklyn is something else.
Yeah. Yeah, Brooklyn, Queens, and Philly come to mind when I think about lyrically like MCs over the duration of the hip hop sphere and the time that hip hop's been in formation. And so if we're talking hip hop artists coming out of New York, Mike, I mean, he's not better than DMX, Jay, Big, Nas, Kiss, Rakim, Kane, KRS, LL. You already out. I'm gonna put Cool G Rap ahead of you. You know why? You can't spit like Cool G Rap on your best day.
Is he a better artist than Cool G Rap though?
He's a better songwriter than Cool G Rap.
Okay.
But Mike, he wouldn't last 5 minutes in a battle with Cool G Rap. That's what I'm saying, and we all know this. Mike, when 50 was taking shots at Nas literally said, "I don't take him seriously the way I take Jay seriously. It's not the same level."
No, you know, that's warranted.
That's Nas saying that. That ain't no random dude saying that. Nas like, no, I don't take 50 shit the same way I take Jay shit. Jason, he pretty much saying like, no. If Jay talking about me, I need to be worried. 50 talking, not that worried. I'm Nas. That's who 50 is to those guys.
50's different, man. I think 50's different in kind of a Snoop Dogg type of way,
You think
right?
50 better than Cameron?
I've always leaned towards Cameron
Me
as an
too.
MC.
So
And
Cameron would
you
be
know,
somebody that might be like on the back end of that top 10 or like in top 15. And I got Cam ahead of 50.
Cam is a
Cam's putting
game
more work.
changer. Cam is a
Cam's a game
game
changer.
changer.
Yeah, how about this? And Dipset had shit on lock longer than G Unit and 50 did.
No, I agree. I think Dipset was a stronger movement.
It was. It was a
Than,
better movement.
yeah.
Yeah, the music was better.
Collectively, G Unit was big, man. They did numbers, but a lot of that was, look, Get Rich or Die Trying was a beast.
Right. Hold on. So, Mike, say that again. Get Rich or Die Trying did numbers.
No, they all did numbers, man. When Banks would drop, he would go gold in a week. Like, just being associated with 50 at that time. Like, Buck did numbers. Buck was doing crazy numbers for somebody
Buck
coming
did,
out.
no. So this is what I'm saying. Buck did crazy numbers initially because he was tied to 50, but there was the fact that that album was great, so it kept going momentum. That's why Buck did better than Banks. The project and the product was better.
I don't put DMX over 50 Cent, no. I mean, I'm sorry, I do put DMX over 50 Cent.
Whoa, I was going to say we're about to have a problem.
No. I don't put 50 Cent over DMX. I read that backwards. Yeah. No,
Mike,
DMX
do you
is
put 50
definitely.
over Pun?
Huh? 50 over
Do you have him
Pun?
over Pun?
As an artist, yes. As a lyricist, no.
Okay. So definitely.
As an artist, I don't put 50 over DMX, though. What DMX did with Get Rich or Die Trying is crazy.
Hold on, what DMX did with what?
Get Rich or Die. Nah, I'm sorry. My mind's all over the place. What DMX did with It's Dark and Hell is Hot, crazy.
Right. So that's why I would tell you, Mike, is like as much as I love Get Rich or Die Trying, and as much of a all-time great hip-hop moment it is, it doesn't supersede DMX and It's Dark and It's Hell is Hot.
No,
it doesn't.
That was, and I don't know if that was in more of my impressionable years or something, but that was a game changer, man.
That was a game. I told
and he
you,
didn't
Mike,
need a cosign to do it either. I mean, he was on some records, but he was an entity of his own.
Mike, he stomped the glitter out the game.
He was somebody that when DMX dropped It's Dark and Hell is Hot, people in high school, and the high school I went to, he was top 10 off top for them. Like, yo, this is some of the best shit I've ever heard.
Mike, I preferred him to Cannabis even before their projects dropped.
He did something different. And I know we talk about that whole Beanie Siegel, Scarface, you know, where you feel shit, Tupac, Kanye. DMX did that too.
Yeah.
Nobody was breaking out in prayer in the middle of records, man. Like,
so 50's not better than LL. We're clear about that, right?
Of course, we're clear on that. Yeah.
Okay. It's not better than Rakim.
Nope.
KRS.
Nope.
Nas.
Nope.
Jay.
Nope.
Big.
Nope.
Cameron.
I mean, that's debatable for people, but, you know, you
Okay,
can go to a heavier hitter than that.
We'll take him out of it for now.
Yeah.
DMX.
No.
Jadakiss.
No.
We're at 8 right now, Mike.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Did you say Kane?
I haven't said Kane yet. That's why I said we're at 8, Mike.
Yeah.
Kane. We're at 9.
What about Busta Rhymes? No?
Oh, I got Busta way ahead of him. 10. Yeah. Mike, I got Q-Tip ahead of him.
We didn't even go to the Wu-Tang yet. We didn't.
Mike, you better stop that. That's what I'm saying. What is he talking about, Mike?
Yeah.
Like, Mike, how about this? As an MC, where would he fall in the Wu-Tang if he were part of that crew? As an MC?
He'd definitely be in the back half.
Yeah. But where, Mike? He would be somewhere between, he'd be like before RZA.
Yeah.
So he'd be like 6 or 7.
Something like that, yeah.
In the clan.
Yeah, that's wild.
But top 10 all-time artists, New York, you'd be like 6th or 7th in Wu-Tang's lineup. That's like the dude who bats 7th for the best hitting team in the league, saying that he's one of the 10 greatest hitters of all time. It's like, dude, you bet 7th for the best hitting team in the league. It's like you're not even one of the 3 or 4 best hitters on your team. What are you talking about?
That Yankees team with Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth and
right.
Everybody.
It's like, no. I know Mickey and Babe and Lou Gehrig were there, but it's like you batted 7th though.
But yeah, man, was there any other things that you got from this interview that you didn't know?
Oh, the Tupac thing, when they bought up Pac, they brought up a whole conversation of loyalty and how Pac just didn't fuck with New York after that. Like, because they bought up, well, it kind of went a couple ways. And this is what I meant about Meth being a key figure. They kind of bought up, Meth was mad about the whole Purple Tape skit because he had an actual relationship with Big.
Yeah.
And so, they had kind of stuck Meth in the middle, and Ray was like, no, Meth was like genuinely like hot about it. Like, no, like that ain't like I didn't just and Ghost is like, no, we was young. We wasn't even thinking. Like, I'm 25 years old, we wilding out. And but then they talked about the Pac shit because Pac was because Meth is on I Got My Mind Made Up. And I realized how deep that shit went, Mike, because Ghost and Ray didn't know the name of the record. Every hip hop head knows I Got My Mind Made Up.
They don't listen to it.
But they don't listen to it. And I was like, oh, it's that real, like, Mike, and I've told you this. No, I know cats from Brooklyn and from the Bronx and from Queens that, like, literally, like, when I would talk about Pac and, like, name his songs, be like, I don't listen to that. I don't like how he did Big.
They were very loyal to New York. And I got that when they were talking about the Source Awards and they were talking about Suge Knight and what he had to say and how they were basically leaning with Bad Boy, and they ain't even really fuck with Bad Boy like that, right?
Right. So it's territorial like that. It's like y'all don't even like them niggas. You just got done clowning these niggas.
Yeah. He took the Puffy diss as a New York diss. It was like, no, he wasn't really talking to New York. He was talking to that dude.
But this Ghost we talking about too. You know how many run-ins Ghost ran down that he's had during this one interview? This Ghost,
Yeah.
Ghost will tell you, Ghost, like, I think different. So, but he spoke to the Pac shit and the loyalty thing. But Ray said something that was really striking. He's like, but he from here, that's that New York in him. He's like, that's in him still. Like, they're talking about his behavior. It's like, actually, if you look at it, he took that East Coast loyal behavior and went west with it. Because they're even talking about, it's like, imagine you in jail. Suge bailed that man out of jail. He's a loyal dude. He was like, so when you hearing him, they kept bringing up the whole California love and the whole Chucks and Bally's references, but they like, but he from here, but he's so loyal that if he gonna ride. And so they were talking about how, they was really saying in a nice way, nah, we didn't fuck with him. We didn't listen with none of the music, but we understand what type of loyal dude he was and why he didn't fuck with anybody from New York. And even they was talking about, it's like, he was even talking about, he was like, well, Pac was getting down with Boot Camp, so Meth probably wasn't even with Pac to do those records. He probably got that record from somebody from Duck Down, and just asked Meth for the okay. That's how Ray and Ghost kicked it.
Well, see, that record, from my understanding, was supposed to be
they called it that record. They said the record.
The record, yeah. My Made Up
They're not part of Bad Boy, Mike. That's some real East Coast shit.
Yeah. My Mind Made Up was, from my understanding, that was a Dog Pound record. And Method Man, Redman, and Inspector Deck did that for the Dog Pound album. And then, you know what I'm saying, and when Pac came out, it was all hands on deck and people were giving Pac their songs.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think that came from a boot camp session, but yeah. It just speaks. They're so New York.
Right. So, Mike, so it speaks how tense those times were that here we are, like 2 decades removed from it. And I mean, these dudes are still in a place in their mind. They ain't listen to that record. Is on that record.
Inspector Deck is on that record.
Deck is on that, right. Yeah. And they don't even know the name of the song. That was one of the most striking things about the interview was like, Ray is like, yeah, I heard that joint. I'm thinking like, nigga, I heard the joint. It's like,
I heard that joint.
It's a classic song on one of rap's all-time classic rap albums with your man on it going crazy.
Well, it was interesting.
Hold on, Mike, don't Meth have the best verse on there if I'm not mistaken?
So. I think so.
Yeah. Fuck you losers. While you fake jacks, I make maneuvers like Mr. Stick. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. Crazy on there too. That's one of his better moments.
Yeah, he killed that joint. What did you think about what was I gonna say, man? Because we were just talking about Tupac. And they were very East Coast. Oh, Dog Pound. That's where my mind was. Sorry about that.
Right.
When he brought up Dog Pound, they kind of dismissed that. And I don't even think that's a great matchup for them, per se. But I don't even know where that really came from. Because I think Dog Pound's super dope. But I
They
don't know if
are
that's.
super dope,
But
but
who's
there are
the best
levels to
matchup
this.
for Dog Pound though?
There's levels to this. Like
Yeah,
the dog pound is great, and I love the dog pound. That's Ray and Ghost. That's like two top 20 MCs, like right there, sitting down in the room. So it's like you not. They got that Wu Tang shit too.
they were
No,
very nice about it though. You know what I
no, they were
mean?
Mike. They were surprisingly political and cordial for who we've known them to be most of their careers. In particular, Ghost.
Right, right. Like I
Yeah,
said, the Action Bronson thing kind of took me aback.
you
Well,
know, that was one of the things too, is that you realize how emotional Ghost really is, because when he's explaining the shark biter skit, when he's explaining the Action Bronson thing, he's like, "No, that just came out, that just happened." He's like, "I ain't playing that or nothing." It's like, oh man, it's
right.
like Ghost really just be like ready to go in on niggas like at the drop of a dime.
Yeah, because he said he was looking for a studio to go in, say with that Action Bronson thing. So they didn't have one, so they just, went live on it.
Oh, Mike, and he said that he's pretty certain. He said it's a little like hazy for him, but he's pretty certain after the whole shootout with the Delphonics, he's like they're in a 15-passenger van following him and all that. He's like, after the smoke was clear, was recorded that night. Right, it's one of those things, and like then you think about the song. The song's called "After the Smoke Is Clear." It's like they just got done busting their guns.
Craziness, man.
Crazy.
Rockstar life. All right, so is there any other things that you got from the interview? I know it's long, and for people who
I mean,
haven't
Mike.
seen
I
it
mean,
yet,
it
go
was
check it
4 hours.
out.
Yeah, it's 4 hours long. I tried to pull as all the highlights and all the touching points is that I could from it. Another thing that they talked about is just fighting for their independence, even from like within the group.
Mm,
And Ray even spoke to something when he really pretty much said like, "Well, I ain't gonna say too much about that. We here now, you know."
yeah,
And they had a nice conversation like when they was doing the documentary about how Ray had said like like my kid's supposed to know your kids and like all that. So they had a moment at the end where everybody was like, and the last thing, Ghost right hand man, short for understanding, just came home from a quarter nickel bid. All
yeah.
right. He was actually found innocent of the charges. So he just spent a quarter century in prison for murder that he didn't commit.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
heard that
so
part.
so
Crazy.
they bought him on, and he just spoke to some things, and he said something very poignant that I didn't know that people need to realize. When these people who are been falsely convicted or accused, when it's getting overturned, he said they don't give you your innocence, they exonerate you. He said part of the reason why they do that is so you can't win the civil judgment, because once they give you your innocence, that pretty much stakes claim that you were done wrong and that there's nothing that they can do about it, which pretty much means you're going to win that civil judgment. They hit you with the exoneration to keep you from the money
Mm,
once again.
dirty style.
America.
Well, on that note,
Everybody, everybody's
happy
saying that this is the,
Thanksgiving.
right. Everybody's saying that this is the greatest nation in the world. Like I hate it when white people say that shit. It's some shit you don't hear black people saying, but whatever.
I mean, it's it's relative, right? It's I guess
relative to
if you
66, relative to the 66% of this population is white. Absolutely.
well, also, I mean, I guess you would have to put forth proof from other nations why it would be better for a particular group over there. Because, I mean, there's definitely
Oh no, no,
struggles
no,
all
Mike.
around.
No, Mike, I've traveled enough around this world and seen it. I get treated worse at home. I get treated like a king when I stamp my passport and I leave this country every fucking where I go. Colombia, Italy, France, Puerto Rico, like Dominican Republic, like you name it, Mike. Brixton in London, like yeah, everywhere I be. But here,
Would you move there? I mean,
Mike, I'm highly considering getting some dual citizen. I'm actually this year I've actually been actively watching YouTube videos about places outside this country to live that are good for Black Americans. I've been doing some research for about 3 or 4 months, and in all reality, I can see myself in the next 5 to 10 years not living in this country full time. Absolutely.
Stevie did it. I think Stevie's in Ghana, right? Something like that.
You want to know why Stevie's in Ghana? Because one of his idols, who's also one of mine, W.E.B. Du Bois, that's where W.E.B. went when he left America,
Yeah,
about his views and his stances and the things that he was tired of. Right.
definitely. Well, like I said, on that note, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We're probably going to, we're definitely going to skip Wednesday's show. I know that's right before Thanksgiving. We'll see what's coming out on Friday. If anything, we might have to re-up next week, but we'll see. We'll keep everybody
We'll see.
posted.
Hey,
And we'll see
Mike.
what's happening in the culture. Yes, sir.
Mike, to quote the GOAT, y'all call it Thanksgiving. I call it Holiday Hell Day because I'm from poverty, neglected by the wealthy.
Well, we will see you guys next time. Nice Nas quote there. And I'm sure we're going to see some more of those Nas quotes on Thanksgiving as well. We always get those great ones.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.